Hey guys, thanks for stopping by today. So I want to do something different. I know I don't really have much of a chance to interact with people on my channel because I just kind of do my cover videos and just move on to the next one, but I thought I would do something different today and kind of do a performance discussion video where I'll go through a song that I recorded and point out some of the nuances, things that I found out when I recorded it, just little things you might not pick up when you're just playing along. But when I record these, I try to get them pretty close to the album version. And I think doing a video like this might help somebody, even if you have a lot of experience playing. I'm certainly no expert. I'm not a guitar teacher. But pointing out these little things might be useful for you in your attempts to play these songs and get better at them. So let's get started. One thing before we do, I just want to remind you guys, my daughter made this, beautiful, right? Is to subscribe to my channel, like my videos. If you want to see more content like this, I would appreciate your support. Someone asked me on my video, my Charvel pickups don't look stock. No, they are not stock. They come with two white pickups, first of all. The bridge is a Seymour Duncan TB6 and the neck is a SH6N. And I just did not like them. I played them in my band with my PV and 5150 and my Marshall cab, and it just sounded really bad. So I swapped them out and now have a Seymour Duncan JB in the bridge, and in the neck I have a jazz pickup, which is just a much better sound for me. And that's what kind of got me into wanting to record this song. I could kind of feel that tone in there. Okay, Feel Your Love Tonight by Van Halen, off the first album. An amazing, great song. One of my favorite Van Halen songs. I love the riff, I love the vocals, it's just an awesome song. Let's talk about the main riff of the song. I noticed Eddie does it a couple different ways. The most predominant way he plays the main riff is as single notes, but on the 3/4 slide to 4/5, he does that as a triad. So he'll play it like this most of the time. Up a lot of stuff by listening to the isolated version that they used in Guitar Hero with just Eddie's guitar all by itself. I'm going to put the link to that isolated video in the description. It really will help you pick up little things in a lot of songs, because I know there's a lot of stuff out there that have isolated tracks. That's the way I hear it for the most part. The other way I hear him played is when he switches from the intro to the verse to the pre-chorus, and then the very end of the song, he does the whole thing as triads. So he does it like this. Again, when he makes the transition to another part of the song, that's where he seems to throw in the full triad version. And then the other part in the third verse, he just does them as single notes. And he'll really kind of hammer on that low E so that he can bring out some harmonics on the A string, so he'll do it like this. If you listen to that, you can hear the differences. And again, I might not be 100% correct in how I recorded it, but I tried to get him, closer than I would normally if I was just trying to wing it. But, let your ears be the judge of what way he's doing it. The other thing is, I played this wrong forever, and I'm sure you're going to say, what kind of idiot would play it like this? But I did. For 400 million years, I played it like this. I put this pause in there, I don't know why, because I just assumed all the hits on the low E were just single hits. So I would do this pause like this. I didn't do the double hit on the E, and that's the right way to play it. So he hits that open E twice. So for anyone that was dumb like me and was playing it with a pause in there just so they could make sure it was on single notes on the E, it's not, it's double notes. And I probably should have been able to hear that without needing the isolated track, but I digress. That's pretty much everything with the main riff of the song. Let's talk about the verse a little bit. Nothing really crazy. There's a little run that he does in every verse but the first one, and I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It's this part. It's that little thing. That's where he's playing the 6 on the D, the 4 on the D to the 2 on the D. And I think he does that in every verse but the first one. The one thing I noticed differently that he does in the third verse is that he'll throw and do it as a triad up here instead of doing it on the 6th fret. He'll do it like this. I don't know how many times he uses that instead of this, but I think it's just on that third verse. But again, let your ears be the judge of how you hear it. The other thing with that is he does not go in, when he goes back into the main riff, he does not do the 3/4 thing. He'll do it like this. One more time, just in case you're not quite hearing. I didn't play it that clean. The other thing with the verses is in the third verse, there's that big bend that he does on the 9th fret of the G string. It's actually bending up 1.5 steps. You're going from this note all the way up to here. It's a pretty wide bend, and I recorded this a few times and I totally messed up. I didn't get it all the way up to that 1.5 step bend. It sounds terrible. It should sound like... You'll notice in my cover video I really concentrated because I screwed it up a couple times. I did not want to have to do another take. And that's pretty much it for the main parts of the song. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff. I just wanted to point out some little things. Let's talk about the solo a little bit. Eddie's awesome because I've never heard of anyone other than him, well, I'm sure someone else has done it, where he just recorded his solo track right over the main track and then went back and dubbed a rhythm track underneath it. Normally people just do a whole rhythm track and then they go back and overdub the solo. I bet when they listened back, Ted Templeman probably thought it sounded better with a rhythm track under there. And that's why they put it in, but you know, Eddie's so awesome, he can just solo right over the main track. You know, no big deal. The only effect I noticed that he's got going on in this song is during the solo, he uses his Phase 90, of course. When I do my recordings, I do everything on my computer, and I use Guitar Rig 5, not this old Yamaha or not any other amp. So I don't use my Phase 90 pedal. I have the striped one. Guitar Rig 5 actually has a nice Phase 90 sound. So in my videos, if you hear a phaser, it's not my real pedal, it's Guitar Rig. But if you have the striped one, put it at 10 o'clock, push the script button on. That's pretty much Eddie's use of it 90% of the time. In fact, I think even I saw a picture of what he does with it, and he has it on 10 o'clock with the script button in. So I was kind of smiling. I'm like, oh my God, I figured something out. The big thing with the solo, besides putting that on, is it's very compartmentalized. Because as the chords switch, Eddie changes up the things he's playing. This is a solo where you can really just learn little parts of it. You know, like the intro. You know, the part where he goes up, you know, high. Just things like that. If you can get those down, this is a wonderful solo to try to really nail. I know a lot of times when we play Van Halen solos, we all just kind of like, oh, this is way good. Okay, it sounds Van Halen-ish, but this is a solo you'll really be rewarded if you learn all the little parts. I know some of them are fast and they're tricky, but if you can work them out, and there's a lot of great lessons on the internet to how to play this solo. I'm not going to walk through all that stuff. I just want to kind of tell you that internal reward you will get from playing this correctly will be great, because he uses so many of these licks in other songs, like the one I just did. I mean, he even does that little lick in Jump. You'll hear that all over the place, you know, the trend picking. Things like that, or where, like I said, where he goes. I mean, how many times do we hear him do those kind of things? Keep that in mind when you're learning this solo, that the benefits of learning it to play correctly are huge. Just learn a little piece at a time and then just kind of piece it together. It's not as hard as it sounds. It's just, there's some parts that are fast and a little intricate, but it's a great bluesy solo. I think that pretty much is everything for this song. I didn't have a lot. The song just goes right back into the chorus after that, and you know how it finishes up with the big vocals by itself and then the riff a couple times. And that's it. I tried to keep this fairly short. I didn't want it to be a big long video, but I think I'm going to do more of these. This was kind of fun, so I want to thank you for stopping by today, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to do some more Van Halen stuff. I've got a couple of covers that I'm working on to finish. I'm going to do videos for those. And then I'll do some performance videos for maybe some of my other songs I did a while ago. If you have any suggestions, you know, feel free to post them. Comments, I welcome them. Emails, my email pops up at the end of the video. Have a great, this is a Memorial Day, so for those of you celebrating Memorial Day weekend in the US, have a great holiday. So long.